All right, we're good.
All right, I see a green box on OBS from across the room, so I think we are all set to go. Hello, and thank you for joining us again for another Sunday afternoon Super Robot Sundays here on Sound Goblin Gaming. We're getting started off a little bit late, but it doesn't really matter. We don't actually have that much to do today, so we'll probably still be good. We are going to be kicking back into Battlefield Record UC 0081 as we are crossing to space. I am, as always, Bograt.
I am the Krampus.
I'm Shiv.
And I'm Vincent.
And let's get right into it. We will almost certainly wrap up 0081 today and may get started on 0083. It depends on how long these missions take.
We have, what, 2 more left in this one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is a 4 scenario set. So we have 2 of this one. It's like 1:15 ish. So we may just call it a little early.
Yeah, it depends how it works out.
Yeah.
If these are very quick scenarios, we'll probably start on Stardust Memory. Otherwise,
Otherwise, we'll just end a little
we'll just end a little early and kick off next week with Stardust Memory. So one thing that I did want to bring up, just to have it sort of cataloged on stream, since it has sort of happened between streams here. It's actually first happened a couple weeks ago, but then we got confirmation that it's also an English language thing. Bandai Namco has registered a trademark for Super SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, both in Japanese and English. They have registered this trademark, so that is almost certainly going to be the next G-Gen game. We don't know literally anything else about it other than the name at this point. But as we have previously discussed, I am very desperately hoping that they go back to the older style of G-Gen games where it was this weird like mashup storyline rather than just following the official stories of UC and Crossrays, some of the AU stuff. Just because the mashup storylines are actually really fun and fucking bonkers and let you get stuff like the Devil Halo.
I wouldn't be surprised since the last 2 SD Gundam games they did were the AUs and UC that they'll go back to doing another.
Well, plus Eternal sounds more like
a combination game.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, if you're just doing all of UC, UC is already its own storyline, and it's not really like you can do a mashup with that.
Yeah. But yes, you get stuff in Overworld like the Devil Halo, wherein they merge the Devil Gundam with the Angel Halo in what is possibly the worst idea anyone has ever had ever in any media. Also, I'm kind of hoping against hope. I doubt it's going to go this way, but given that SRW 30 ventured this way, I would kind of like to see the more like open world freeform design of 30 in a G-Gen game. I think that would kick ass, actually.
I mean, 30 did very, very well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do more games in that format.
It's just a matter of if that's the direction they want to take the G-Gen series specifically, because G-Gen and SRW tended to parallel each other, but not like that closely. Even in the instances where, you had a more SRW style story where it was kind of a weird mashup of all the series and like its own sort of original story going on. Yeah. You still had some degree of freeform selection in the order of missions and stuff in the G-Gen games. So like in Overworld, for instance, they're divided into blocks, but you always have like, you get into like a C block and it's like, here's C mission C 1, 2, and 3. Pick whichever one you want to do first, and once you've completed one of them, it then unlocks 4, and then unlocks 5, and then unlocks 6, and once you've done all 6 of them, then you unlock the capstone, which gets you into the next block. But you can still kind of choose what order you do stuff in, which was never really a thing in SRW. Yeah, SRW was always straightforward until 30. But I think they did get a lot of positive response to the more sort of freeform design of 30, so it might influence them to make a G-Gen game that way, which again I think would be actually supremely cool to do given the sort of setting and world you can get away with based around Gundam, especially if you're mashing up a bunch of AU and UC stuff, because you have the whole Earth sphere and you have all these different nations and nation states and governments and all that stuff that are across all the different AUs.
They're now all on Earth. Don't ask questions.
I mean, look, they already do that shit with SRW.
They do.
Like, the dinosaur empire and fucking the Mycenaean empire and like all the fucking like the fucking Zentradi invasion, like all this shit all happened in the course of like a year. Like they literally, like one of the standing things of SRW is always that like Amuro Ray, Koji Kabuto, and like Tetsuya, all the like, and like Ryoma
yep.
are all like old war buddies because they were all in a war together X number of years ago, depending on which game it is. It's usually like 10 to 12 years ago. Unless it's one of the games where those are specifically part of the plot points, in which case they're all rookies.
Yep.
And they're in this war together. Like, granted, in the old G-Gen games, which I mean, we will probably get to at some point because we will still almost certainly play Overworld at the very least on stream at some point, but they don't try and justify nearly as much of like the story being understood by the actual characters within it. Most of the time it's just like what the fuck is going on? And at most you typically get the actual like quote unquote original storyline generally only really advances through those capstone missions I was talking about. Which is where you get the actual stuff. You don't really get cutscenes and stuff like this in those, in Overworld at least. Like you get it in like the first mission where everything kind of goes to shit. Then you get it every time you hit one of the like tier capstones, because then it's always like weird shit happening and all the timelines fucking up and, you know, all of that. And then you go back into the regular missions, which are all always originally based off of an event from one series or another.
Just mixed up with another event.
Well, so you specifically, in the same way that in this game you have the like historic moments and you get the special things for doing special triggers, in Overworld you have breakpoints, which are effectively the equivalent to the specials here, where when you trigger them, that's when something slams in from another universe and starts fucking shit up and shit gets weird. But it is almost always plot points from another universe, like it's an actual event that happened in that given series, just kind of slams into whatever's currently going on.
Hence the Devil Halo.
Yeah. And eventually you get to a point where you get usually 3 breakpoints in a mission. So you do one breakpoint, then a new breakpoint happens, and then another one. And then the final one is what's called Over Impact, which is a final challenge. And when you do that, everyone that has slammed in from because every time the breakpoints happen, you get both new enemies and new allies that show up. When you hit Over Impact, all the new allies that show up turn into an additional enemy force that you have to take out.
Okay.
This does, however, also lead to stupid degrees of capital gain, because almost always at least one of the break impacts introduces a battleship that has
Stuff inside
units,
of it you can capture.
well, not even stuff inside of it, but literally like you will have like, for instance, like the seed dudes will show up and it'll have like their warship with them.
Yeah.
So they're already deployed, but if you destroy the warship, they go into surrender mode, so you can capture them, and you are capturing really high-end units, so they sell for, you know, 100K.
Also, my god, these people are stupid.
Yeah, the 081 storyline is not great. Even the Tears of Varuna remake of it in the manga and stuff is still...
You can only do so much.
Yeah, basically.
They are so clinging to a military operation that has long lost its purpose that it's just kind of dumb.
I mean, you have basically just described the majority of Xeon Remnant, actually. But
yeah, I know.
prior to the actual formation of a solid Neo Xeon, there was really only one remaining bastion of any actual Xeon power, and we don't talk about Mars Xeon.
But at this point, they're hurling rocks at the Earth for reasons.
Mars Xeon, which was led by a clone, possibly actual like genetic clone, possibly just psychologically manipulated clone of Minerva Zabi, who had an obsession with Watership Down and bunnies as a whole.
Well, that makes sense in the sense that it doesn't.
It is extremely dumb, but did lead to what I believe is possibly the single funniest title of a Gundam side story manga ever. Give me a second to pull up the full title because it's a mouthful.
We're gonna get the mass driver. They're gonna fire, I don't know, one rocket Earth, and they'll, send people to kick the shit out of us because there's like 5 of us.
So again, it is worth reminding, it is worth pointing out, this is specifically Advance of Zeta stuff, which as we already mentioned is complete and utter fucking nonsense. That's where we get like the giant fucking Gundam with the thing that drops other mobile suits as an attack. But yes, this leads to...
and the Gundam baby carrier.
Advance of Zeta, re-boot, Gundam Inlay, Black Rabbit Had a Dream.
Okay. So what you're saying is they made the title first and then tried to make a plot that justified it.
Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Raido Kuzenova versus the Army of Ultimate Evil.
And every volume of it has a different subtitle, which leads to things like Prologue, Arson Orbital Zone, Part 2, Arcadia of Zoterion, Part 1, Volume 3, Part 1, Alice of Zeon. And yes, this is technically not Mars Zeon, that is technically Re-Zeon, who are based on Mars, but distinctly separate from Mars Zeon. Because Mars Zeon is in that as a separate faction. It's also, frankly, kind of fucked up because it's, to some extent, there is a Titans remnant in that series, which is sort of the... Because, again, the series mostly follows Re-Zeon as, the main characters, the sort of protagonists.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not, good guys,
because... a soldier of no eyes.
Because, they are still Zeon, so they're not really good guys.
Just linger on that for a bit.
But at the same time,
I know you try to shade in the eyes when the character isn't actually...
It's a thing, man.
But
yeah.
You could do a better job on that one.
But yeah, it's, the other side is a Titans remnant, which makes it real hard not to look at Re-Zeon as good guys. Although I do have to say, all told, some of the side story manga in UC Gundam as a whole does end up with fucking amazing names, like Traitor to Destiny Extra Compilation Mace of Judgment. Or, let's see, what were some of the other great ones? Unicorn, Bande Dessinée, The Truth of EFF, The Noble Shroud. We're Federation Hooligans.
At least they admit it.
Stampede, The Story of Professor Minovsky. Cyber New Type Story, Mad Wang 1160.
Mad Wang.
which does involve a character named Decoder S. Wallenstein. Oh, look, in the list, the novel adaptation of G Savior. Which is mostly better than actual G Savior because it could scarcely be worse.
They technically going to the moon, so
The plan is to go to the moon.
it wouldn't technically be the same conditions as space. There is gravity, low gravity, but gravity.
Okay, so in this one we have a special for having Hughes defeat Christo.
Okay. Seven turns.
Alright, we have 5 units. They have a bunch. Let's do this.
It's okay, we just have a gym sniper like posted up on a hill off screen. It's gonna take off, we're gonna shoot it down, just like a medical ship. Not sure if we can hit it quick. Paint a big cross on the side.
Our units are most effective only when committing war crimes.
We have the full team right
Oh,
off the bat.
okay, never mind. Never mind anything resembling difficulty.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can. The question is whether or not I'll need to kill Christo before destroying them.
Probably. It still shouldn't be too hard to manage. Why do you?
I'm with the assault armor now.
Yep.
Yep. Hughes is the only one that matters, I assume.
And I can't lose any of them. Actually, no, he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah.
I can't lose the hover truck.
Right, just in case Satan
I
spawns
can't lose
behind you.
Hughes or the hover truck.
Okay, so just in case Satan spawns behind you, you might want
Wouldn't
to...
be the first time. So they deployed some sort of spaceship.
There's just one Phantom unit. What can they... Oh, those are warships. So, what was the Hama designed for?
Looking dumb.
Mostly.
It vaguely gives the feeling of like a water suit, but
oh, it's
really
not
at the same time.
It's not.
Yeah.
It is a prototype quasi-Psychomu mobile suit.
Quasi-Psychomu.
Yeah.
For those people who think they have psychic powers but really don't?
No, it's more that it has claws on it that are like wire guided, but also have like Psychomu built into them, so it's somewhere between like an Incom and a Psychomu system. It basically has Psychomu units with an Incom backup kind of built in.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for being real, it was mostly designed to give Masha Marcello a unique looking suit, but yeah, so the quasi-Psychomu system specifically is a computer control system designed to allow non-new type pilots to operate wire-guided remote weapons and conduct all-range attacks in a fashion similar to new type use mobile weapons equipped with a standard Psychomu system.
So what you're saying is it's a snowflake suit.
Kind of. It was, again, a prototype for a system that, as it was in the Hama, did not actually see deployment because it didn't quite work right, but eventually did lead to a similar system that did mostly function as intended.
That being the wire-guided systems that are on the, or on some of the other units, or...
Actually, most of the other units that we have that have wire-guided stuff are from before the Hama.
Ah.
The Hama is a double Zeta era suit.
Did it just not work well as a hybrid system, or?
It's hard to say. The exact like. That's Chris. I don't think Chris is even on the field right now, actually. Right now. So he'll show up after we destroy the HLVs, presumably. Then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when they say stuff like, "Oh, it didn't work and so was scrapped," it usually is like there's not any like in-universe justification for that or anything. That's just they were like, "Yeah, no, it didn't work. Shut up."
It's the reason why we didn't continue making suits in this line. Certainly not because it looked really fucking stupid.
Oh, things looking stupid never stopped them before.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I mean, I will take this opportunity to point out that a few decades into the future in the UC from this point, there is a military that literally fields battleships that are gigantic motorcycles.
The motor actually.
Like, not like one that they were like, we designed this as a product. No, it's literally like an entire fleet of land, air, space battleships that are motorcycles.
Because one guy is really, really into motorcycles.
Yeah, Duker
and
it.
he wants you to know it.
Inside the name, Duker Ick.
Victory Gundam is one of my favorite Gundams for how batshit insane it gets.
I don't know what you're talking about. Our plan is just to use new type waves to infantilize the entire population of Earth.
It's not clear what this means to the rest of that mental state.
Or physically
literally
turn them into babies.
They were not clear. They did not want to be.
It's new type bullshit. It really could go either way.
I assume they didn't succeed, so we'll never know and don't really want to.
Pretty much. This is also a quote-unquote evil empire who literally sets up guillotines to murder their political opponents.
Yes.
This thing.
Not even trying to be subtle.
No, not remotely. Victory Gundam is a lot of
effort to be as blunt as possible.
Victory Gundam is a lot of things. Subtle is not one of them. It's also a series where they don't make a really big point of it, but our protagonist is in fact an illegal immigrant to Earth. Whose mother gets her head popped off being run over by one of the aforementioned motorcycle battleships.
Veggie then presents to his commanding officer upon coming back to the base.
Yes, his commanding officer basically tries to chide him for being reckless, at which point he hands them a helmet containing his mother's head and just says, "This is my mother," and walks off. A lot of really bad shit happens to so.
It could be worse, though. He could be a member of the Shrike team.
Like, 2 members of the Shrike team survive the events of Victory Gundam.
Out of how many?
Like 8.
Because they stay behind in the last fight and don't participate in the battle.
Mostly.
Can you blame them?
The Shrike team is what if an entire team from Gundam was Kenny from South Park. A Shrike dies.
Except Kenny comes back to life.
Yeah, pretty much every time the Shrike team actually fields, at least one of them dies horrifically. I like having their cockpit kicked in, or beam saber vaporization, or
Blown up by a bomb.
blown up by a bomb. Yeah, I did do some shifting around of modifications prior to stream, just because we had some mods that were equipped to units that weren't actually being fielded. We had some units being fielded that didn't have any mods equipped. The GPO2 specifically, I took off the one that was like 5% HP and energy per turn, and put on one of the solar panel that we currently had on the Neo Zeong, which we weren't going to field for a while, so that it would get 15% energy, because HP is never the problem on the GPO2.
Oh, you have energy.
Yeah. That being said, it is worth noting, much like the special missions in these, in Overworld, you can skip doing the breakpoints if you feel like it and just complete the mission in like 10 minutes. And it still counts as completed. It will still unlock stuff. You just don't get nearly as good rewards.
Yeah.
Oh no, shaky cam.
Another HLV that was slightly off screen.
Once again, we succeed at doing what they want, and they still, or we succeed at stopping them and doing what they want, and then they still do what they want anyways.
Some of these scenarios in here are more focused on telling a story than they are on player agency.
Yeah, it's hard to tell a compelling narrative when it goes, they had to protect the HMVs. And then Unicorn Gundam showed up and didn't fucking matter.
Here we go. Here's Christo.
We need to steal the Ifrit. But then the Unicorn Gundam showed up. Our plans were foiled.
Exactly.
No, it would just feel a bit better if it was like, here's our objective, and then their objective is tangential over here, so we didn't stop them because we're busy doing something else or something.
I mean, that does
They
happen
do that
sometimes.
Yeah.
Where, like, they have an objective and basically an entirely separate battlefield you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, this is also, like, actually the storyline of 81, is my understanding, is literally they do have a bunch of decoy HLVs there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Zamels.
Yeah. And that's also actually half of the Abaku mission. Because you have, when you do the Abaku mission, you have, like, both sides of Abaku.
Yeah.
And the top half of the map is just your units. The bottom half of the map is just the actual, like, guest units.
Yeah.
And then once you do both sides, it's basically a big battleship you have to destroy on each side. And once you destroy both battleships, it becomes a combined
Field.
Field with like a new set of enemies in the middle. But and a separate thing where Armor is doing the bolt chase for
Chasing
Char
down
and doing
Char,
last
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they actually do that sometimes. It's just with a lot of the side story stuff, there's not as much going on in the peripheries of a given story, so it's harder for them to be like, oh, you were over here doing this thing, and it's like, okay, but like that has literally nothing to do with what's going on in the actual like story at this point.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Should make a point to try and capture the extra Zamels, because those will actually be a good chunk of change.
One's in the back, yeah.
Well, the one in the back is the one to take out that'll cause the other two to surrender.
Yeah.
You can tell because it's the actual outlined border versus the solid border.
Yep. Also has the star.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we also need to make sure that Hughes takes out Christo. Or not. I don't think we really care about unlocking Christo as a pilot.
We'll do it. It's not going to be hard. Like, have to pass a turn or two for him to get his sweet ass up there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not fast.
Oh, also, before stream, while we were waiting for you to run your errands and whatnot, I did check. Amuro actually had enough ace points to finish off new type.
Nice.
So he has now maxed out new type.
Yeah, we didn't check
Yeah, we didn't do ace point
at the
stuff.
very
again.
end of the last session.
Yeah. He was the only one that had reached anything, but still, that is a significant thing of maxing out new type. Since I don't think it's until you actually max out new type that you get the extra chance step from it.
It is the final step.
Gets you like plus 80 awaken and one extra chance step. So Amuro is now even more fucking disgusting. And the unicorn might actually run out of energy now.
Unicorn has run out of energy before if we use it a lot.
Yeah, but
It
like
is relatively energy efficient. It's only like 20 for firing the...
yes, but now that he can get like 5 attacks in a turn, it's going to burn through its energy real quick. I did also get the chance to explain to Vince about Ivan Ivanov, the greatest god new type of all time. As an update to those of you who may not have watched our very beginning stuff, at which point we were actually briefly running Ivan Ivanov in our team. Ivan Ivanov is a sort of consistent joke character within G-Gen, in that all of his stats are utter garbage. They start at like 20, except new type, which Awaken, which starts at like 250. And he has like next to no growth of every other stat. He gets like 1 point every 2 levels in every other stat, but new type goes up by like 6 to 10 every level. So he is absolutely worthless until you can put him into a unit with a Psychomi weapon, at which point he becomes a destructive god.
Someone doesn't shoot at him, his reaction to defense is still garbage.
His reaction to defense are still garbage, but if you put him in a unit that actually has a really high like armor, like defense, he's still pretty solid just because it's not going to take much damage just from the raw stat of the unit. So you throw him in something like, say, like the double Zeta, which has, for some reason, the giant beam saber as a Psychomi weapon.
Yeah.
It has, like, really high armor and just really high mobility. So, like, it's going to make up for his stats being ass just by the raw stats of the unit itself. And, yeah, he just sits there and will fucking demolish things. I mean, he's still not good,
No.
but...
He was only on our team because we needed people early on.
Yeah, basically. And if I remember correctly, we specifically had him piloting shit units like helicopters and tanks.
Yes.
Again, mostly as a joke. I mean, granted, he does get decent skills because he gets like luck. He gets the one that like improves morale of units when he's like the leader.
People like him.
Yeah. It's actually like in his bio that he's like a big like jokester and like kind of clown dude that everybody really likes, and this is like really good at keeping up company morale. As opposed to Blood, who's like a triple agent who nobody trusts.
His name is Blood.
Yeah, that's something we had to give away.
The laughing doesn't help either.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's me,
I think that's all we needed on the 4. I think we were just dropping it down to the regular 4. Yeah, we just needed 2 levels, actually. And then we will pack it in mothballs and never see it again.
Just making a regular 4.
Basically.
Unlocking production stuff.
Again, we are not by any means going for 100% completion in this, but if we have availability to get something, we will as well. Pop a shot or 2 into Krista just to weaken him, because God knows Hughes is going to one-shot him. It's also not likely to one-shot him, because Ramzat doesn't exactly have a great Awaken stat. In fact, I don't know if Ramzat has Awaken.
Full 30.
He has 30, specifically because of the stuff on the Psycho frame.
That's the Psycho frame. Everyone has
The good news is I've in some latent psychic power you may or may not have had. The bad news is there's a constant screaming going on in your head. Don't worry about that.
So the Psycho frame forcibly awakens a non-new type. Does that technically make them a cyber new type? I mean, it's horrifying either way, but...
That's what the definition of cyber new type actually is.
The definition of cyber new type is anyone that's not a new type being granted new type abilities through basically any means, because some cyber new types are technological, some are psychological. Like, cyber new type is an incredibly ill-defined term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. It depends on who classifies as cyber,
So
or like defines a cyber new type.
So what you're saying is that you're using the word cyber poorly.
Yeah, I mean, it's partially it's because the original quote-unquote cyber new types were actually like technologically modified. They basically had parts of their brain replaced with computers, essentially. But then over time, they developed different methodologies for developing cyber new types, but the terminology was still the same because they didn't want to have, well, this is a cyber new type, and this is a psycho new type, and this is a quasi new, like,
This is a new type of genes.
yeah. They're just like, no, like anything that's an artificial new type is just referred to as a cyber new type.
Okay, next go.
And we'll be on Custom 02. God, Hughes, please get the fucking lead out.
Go as fast as I can, boss.
Challenge, can you not murder this a freaking Hawkins before you get this slow-ass unit up to it?
Might just be that I've gotten used to it, but I feel like the sound desync is not as bad today as it has been.
It's not as bad today as it has been.
You know, I didn't notice the sound desync at all this entire, like, new playthrough you've been doing until you just mentioned it.
We didn't have it for, like, I think the first few sessions.
It was
of
up
the
until like
version.
2 sessions ago. We didn't actually have it at all. And then it started 2 sessions ago. And it was real bad, like 2 sessions ago and last session. This session, it's like, it's noticeable if you're looking for it, but if you're not looking for it, I don't think you would have noticed it.
I don't notice it at all because I'm watching the
Yeah.
smaller screen.
No, it's synced with
This
OBS,
one.
but like
Yeah.
OBS is
Probably is, yeah.
only, like previously we had to adjust by like almost 2 seconds to get it to sync up even remotely, whereas now it's like maybe half a second. Like it's not nearly as bad as it has been. Oh look, behind the scenes, audio is fucking weird. Ah, yes. Kesperia's Yogg-Doga, which is like a normal Yogg-Doga, except it's red and has daddy issues.
Maybe you should start moving backwards so the Ifrit chases you.
Yeah, but we do still have to kill the HLV.
It looks like I'm going to destroy the HLV and probably not get the Ifrit unless he stays around. We have 2 more turns. Maybe we have to destroy it this turn to get the destroy in 6 turns or less.
Is that still on? Because I'm pretty sure that was just for the Zamos to spawn.
What's that? She keeps talking about we still have a timer.
Yes, we have a timer before that HLV launches.
Yeah.
It was the 3 initial HLVs that we had to do in 6 turns or less. This is a new timer.
Okay.
And you can check event conditions, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to say already completed. Yeah. Yeah, that was just the initial HLVs.
But we do have to destroy this in 2 turns.
2 turns, yes. Which, again, if we don't get Christo as a pilot, oh no. Like, whatever.
Gary, come and get me. I don't have any health for or anything, so I think I need to kill it honestly. Did chase.
And again, we are going to have something thrown attack into that Ifrit because Hughes is not one-shotting it.
No.
Can you assist Tugh's attack with other units, or...?
Not with,
No.
No, he only be
It's like
assisted
those,
by the other storm.
yeah, those like gyms back there and like the hover truck could, but...
Good.
Yep, perfect. All yours,
Just
Hughes.
like I planned. Certainly not optional. Well, there it goes.
Ifrit knocked. Apparently has a high evasion.
Okay, well, we're just go for it.
Drop a save before making the attack, because we can technically save scum.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think we care that much. It's literally just get Christo as a pilot, which we're not going to use anyways, but...
We're right here.
To what end?
Show the Earth who's boss by throwing rocks at it? I have no idea what this is named for. Does anything have energy over there?
Good shot, Trinos.
Okay.
Oh, you shot your shot. I was hoping that someone else over there had energy to do a shot, because I'm pretty sure the game uses seeds at the start of a mission.
Yeah.
And so that shot was always going to miss, no matter if I loaded, so I need to do something else first before throwing that attack. But
Something with random factor.
yeah. But I didn't realize you could just throw attack into like the side of it. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't get a character we can care about.
Yep.
Not an unknown 5th HLV.
Also, this Bowser's Castle ass dramatic music.
Well,
Picks it up with the Ifrit knocked and throws it. This is not gonna work, Christo.
Because the Federation is really bad about being infiltrated by Xeon agents, apparently.
seemed unnecessary.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Instead of making any difficult choices, I'm just going to blow up the suit.
You know, when you get too emotional inside of a mobile suit, you just explode.
Pop goes her heart. Custom 2. We'll need 6? No, we'll need 5. The Super Gundam. That's G-Line.
Yeah, G-Line we're keeping. That is part of our final team. The 4th booster. Turn into the regular Gundam 4. And then we can take the mods off and replace it with something we actually give a shit about. That being said, I believe the next mission is space, so...
Mission is in fact space.
Yeah, so we'll need to make sure that all of our units we're fielding are space capable. That does mean we can go back to the Deep Striker and Neo Zeong.
Obviously, the core fighter.
Space.
Does the Beyond Custom 2 actually go into anything we care about? Technically get the Hammurabi, I guess.
Font goes into something.
Yeah.
Okay, I should go back and cycle through. Oh, that goes into something.
That's going into definitely heavy Gundam and then something else. Scan G-Line, so final team stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, now that I think about it, I never actually saw the G-Line deployed in space.
Yeah, but it can do space.
Yeah. The question is, do we want to keep it on standard armor?
When we change it in the warship, we can't change it outside of the warship. We can't change it outside of maps.
Yeah, you can. Notice how there's 2 things on here that say exchange. So that's that one. It's a translation issue.
Ah. Weird.
Yeah, it's just a weird translation thing. Yeah, you can set it to be in a given one from your actual organization screen, and then you can also do it in map. It's because it's technically changing it out for a different unit, unlike the ones that have like the transform between 2 modes that are just like a mode switch. It's a little weird, but it's a whole different command for some reason. It's the thing you see more commonly in the other G-Gen games that deal with AUs, where modular suits are more common. Check just to make sure. I'm pretty sure the Type C should be space capable, but the gym
It is. We've taken it
Okay.
before.
Okay, just want to make sure because there are a couple gym types that are actually not space capable.
Oh, no,
but-
there's a handful of gym types that aren't space capable, but it is mostly because I know we've used it before. It's still trying to get level 4 because it hits like a wet paper bag and a slow ship.
yeah.
The constant battle to try and level up our gyms.
Yep.
It's fine. Eventually, we'll get to Hathaway's Flash and get a Gustav Karl, and then we can just put.
The thick boy.
Yeah.
エリク・ブランケ少佐率いるインビジブルナイツを乗せた HLV は水天の涙作戦を成就させるべく
We're gonna throw rocks at Earth. The Earth will not care.
兄としてそして姉として慕ったかけがえのない兄弟の犠牲と引き換えに
To be fair, their plan
その
isn't to
悲
throw
劇
rocks
は
at Earth to
同
annoy
時にエリ
Earth.
クたちから
Their
離
plan
れ
is
た
to
場
rocks
所
at
では
Earth to destroy like
一人の
military
女性
bases
が
and
いなく
stuff.
なったことを意味していた
Which do care about rocks being thrown at them.
It is worth noting, just so we are clear on the end of that last one, I'm pretty sure it wasn't like oh, I'm going to intentionally detonate my core. I'm pretty sure they were caught in the blast from the HLV launching, which is what blew them up.
Yeah, more than likely.
そうでなきゃ体調をかばったりなんかそういう大事なことに気づくのはどうしていつも失った後なんだろうななんだっていいじゃないですか今はただ悲しんでやればシェリー
吐き出しようもない悲哀の念に打ちひしがれる中ファントムスイープ隊は再びオーガスタ基地へと向かうオーガスタ基地へと戻ったファントムスイープ隊の目の前には思いもよらない勇士が待ち構えていた純ホワイトベース級強襲揚陸艦サラブレッドかつて一年戦争時にガンダム4号機と5号機を搭載し第16独立戦隊の機関と
Okay,
して
so we do have 2 special quests for the upcoming one.
Okay.
One of them is have Hughes defeat Eric after they've fought at least once. That unlocks us the ability to recruit Eric. So again, it's one if we don't make it, whatever. The other one we do want to get is clearing it within 10 turns, which gets us a gold mod.
That's actually important.
Yeah.
That should
その戦いの果てに何を見出すのかファントムスイープ隊隊長ユーグ・クールインビジブルナイツ隊長エリク・ブランケ己の信念と誇りをかけた2人の男たちが今怨恨に
Each of them held true to their own beliefs. Only one of them had beliefs that weren't dumb. By comparison.
I mean, if you're comparing them, none of Hughes' beliefs are as dumb as we really need to carry out this military operation for a war that ended a year ago.
No.
To launch rocks at Earth.
But he still does have some degree of belief in the Federation, which,
月面に響く戦士の挽歌
we get the 7th Gundam.
And Gundam out of nowhere.
Seventh Gundam.
Yep.
Specifically the full armor 7.
Technically speaking, the G lines are Gundams.
Yes. Because they are technically developed off the 78. And yes, the 7th Gundam, which 0081 is the first place it like shows up canonically within story, because prior to that it was only an MSV thing, and it only shows up in the full armor form. It shows up in like the full armor form and the heavy full arm form in 0081. The 7th Gundam never actually shows up in canon in its base form. It only shows up as base form in MSV. Which is genuinely kind of funny. They also did, admittedly, revise the designs between MSV and 0081, which is probably good, because the originally heavy arm, full armor 7th Gundam looks like they put a Gundam head on a fucking brick. Shut up now. Yeah, the other thing is I think canonically the Gundam 7th was developed off of the G line as well, so.
Is the 7th also modular, or?
No. So some of the technology that ended up in the 7th was basically test bedded in the G line. The G line was always intended, as we previously discussed, to end up being like a mass-produced sort of grunt unit, essentially a replacement for the Gym that was much more versatile and much more upgraded and was actually a full-on like Gundam, but it was capable to be mass-produced. The Gundam 7th was a full-on Gundam. It was intended to be sort of purpose-built. We don't really get a modular Gundam until we get to like the F90.
The U-Pack. What if we just strapped a space shuttle to a Gundam?
Okay, in fairness, it's one of the new ones they made up for model kits.
But it looks like they just shoved them. It looks like they just cut the Columbia in half.
Yes.
And jammed it in the Gundam in the middle.
Yes, which is why I'm saying, like, it's a stupid design that they made specifically for model kits. The actual module packs for, like, the F90, the F91, and all that stuff, we really only have, like, 5 of them that are fully canonical. Anything that's Gunpla only is not canon.
They do something new in the time frame of F90, F91, just so they can canonize
I mean,
all of the Gunpla packs.
There is actually a, I believe, still ongoing manga for F90 right now, which is very popular, but also still has only shown off the ones we already knew about.
Stuart.
They haven't included a bunch of stuff from the F90 A to Z project yet. I don't know if they will or not, and if they do, it'll probably be selective.
Here's the captain. Stuart. Not Captain Stewart, not Stewart anything, just Stewart.
I mean, look at that man. Do you think he deserves the respect of his title?
Or a last name.
I look like the
Worse.
thumb.
Maybe he doesn't have a first name.
Ah, yes, Mr. Stewart.
I can see my reflection in your head.
Just make it go faster.
Well, it's not really greatly maneuverable, so what if we just made it really stupidly fucking fast?
What if we put more boosters on it? I don't see how that's going to help. We're going to do it, though.
Can't we?
Yeah, you're not children. Children can do whatever they want. What?
So we saw the Dendrobium and thought they were underachieving. We're like, okay, well, what if we did that, but also...
And how does it compare size-wise to the Dendrobium?
I think it's slightly smaller,
The
actually.
Dendrobium is stupidly big, but it's like 90% missile racks.
Let's see if we actually have measurements on these.
Especially since we're in the post-war period, and therefore this is just dumb.
The only actual solid measurement we have on it appears to be weight. Let me see if we actually have comparison to the Dendrobium. And if not, I can check Mobile Armor HQ to see if they've got more measurements. Okay, so the only dimension we have that we can actually realistically compare. So we do technically have the max height of both of them, but that's not really a great factor because whereas the Dendrobium builds stuff up over the top of the base GPO3, the heavy armed full armor 7th does not. It's actually all just out. So it's still only as tall as the actual 7th Gundam. Weight-wise, however, the max weight on the 7th heavy armed full armor 7th is like 128 metric tons, whereas the Dendrobium is 453 metric tons.
Yeah. Also, the Dendrobium is huge, and most of it is like the racks.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, still.
Oh no, it's dumb as shit.
It's just it's a slightly different intention in that the heavy armed full armor 7th is still intended to be a mobile suit, whereas the Dendrobium is a weapons platform.
Yeah, that happens to have a mobile suit inside of it.
Yeah. It's a piloted weapons platform as opposed to whatever the fuck the heavy armed full armor 7th
We
is.
can glue more guns to it, right? There's space there for guns.
The heavy armor full armor of it also has an absolutely ludicrous amount of missiles on it. In that it specifically has 2 8-tube missile launchers on the booster unit, a quadruple missile pod on each side of the upper chest, a triple missile pod on each shoulder, 4 micro missiles on the back. That's not counting the normal head Vulcans, the beam saber, a hand beam gun on each of the mobile suit's arms, a long-range mega beam cannon over one shoulder, a swiveling cannon on each side of the skirt armor, a regular beam cannon, a custom-made beam rifle, a hyper bazooka, twin beam spray guns, and twin grenade launchers.
Right, so that thing.
Sweet. Sweet. Oh, that Xeon spy from earlier, just a different way. He tells his eyes don't exist. Yep. There it is.
I will point out, this is again the revised, less chunky design.
Beep boop. It's like there's a large unit, but barely fills up. It's like the. It's oversized for 1 square, but way too big for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could have done a 2x2 with that.
They generally don't do 2x2s.
Okay, so the missiles are down.
Yep.
I just have to shoot
Get to the moose eye.
straight down the line and blow the moose eye. Okay, easy as shit.
Yep.
Here we go.
When did they have time to deploy turrets?
We always have that, don't expect.
I mean, there's like established bases on the moon.
Wait, Xeon has established bases on the moon.
Yeah, there's Xeon remnants on the moon.
The Federation has stuff in the moon too.
You will need to, at some point, actually go into attack animations to show off how ludicrous this thing is. And yes, it does not actually have, like, a beam saber in this form. It technically does in its official armaments, but it's not something it actually, like, uses ever. I got him!
Way to go.
Just got like the bulk of a full another mobile suit just on its back. You're probably going to want to counter at least one of these Rick Doms to weaken it.
Oh, can't get out of the ridge.
Nope. Yeah, because it's a 3x3, so it has to be able to. Yeah, the full hitbox has to be able to move through a space that is not occupied by enemies in order to be able to do its
Oh, that's... we're screwed.
thing. Yep. May as well restart. Have to give up if you want to restart. Do retry.
Right, straight down the middle then.
Yep.
Yep.
Sad that the like super cannon can't even one shot a front suit.
Nope. I mean, it's only a 5,000 power attack. It's not. And Yu's stats are not super great.
Excuse me, coming through.
標的を射程に捉えた。これより破壊する。
Yep. Yeah, a little bit of a puzzle challenge, but
Yeah.
not too complicated. Just have to realize that it being a 3x3 in a fucking canyon like this makes it.
Well, I was mainly banking on the fact that the big gun with one shot of
No, does not.
grunt, but it didn't. So
Additionally, Top Brass says, "Shut it, Baldy."
don't pull this shit again.
Feel free to put Stuart in a headlock if you need to. He deserves it.
Give him a swirl.
Oh no. We've had our scientists run calculations. Turns out their plan is very stupid.
If I remember correctly, that's actually what it boils down to. Like, I'm pretty sure they fire and just burns up in orbit and does nothing.
Yeah. The mass driver on the moon is not actually capable of firing anything that can get through the atmosphere.
Ah.
It was designed to be used against, like, fleets in space, not actually bombard Earth.
As it turns out, the Earth has an atmosphere, and rocks just burn up in it.
Like, a big enough rock would
works,
impact the Earth. The mass driver is not capable of actually accelerating a rock large enough to do anything to Earth.
Like, if you fire that at a spaceship, it would work.
Yeah, it would fuck up a ship in like space, where nothing's going to slow it down, nothing's going to burn against it, it's not going to experience any friction.
No, it's just pure momentum.
Yeah. No, like, something like Axis getting through Earth's atmosphere is still going to have enough mass to do some serious fucking shit. The mass driver is not capable of launching something like Axis or Abaku.
The top brass has said, let them launch the rock, it will be funnier this way.
I mean, kinda.
I'm pretty sure they do launch the rock before the mission ends. And we get like a cutscene and then basically going like, did nothing.
Yep.
Okay, so they move ore around the moon by launching it into lunar orbit. Sure, why not?
It's not necessarily that they move it around the moon by doing that. It's actually they extract ore-rich chunks of, lunar material, launch it into lunar orbit, and the actual mining of the ore specifically is done in lunar orbit rather than on the surface.
Yeah.
Because that basically allows it to go straight from being mined to transport rather than having to transition that.
It also has the added advantage if you're not doing it on the moon, which is kind of shit and awful.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, it's a giant planet full of radiated dust. It's,
Yep. I mean, they do have permanent structures on the moon in Gundam. There's like 2 or 3 actual like cities on the moon.
Yeah.
Not just bases, like actual cities, because there's like Von Braun City, Luna 2.
I mean, they're no different than basically a space colony with some slight gravity.
Pretty much. Yeah, the big thing is extracting lunar titanium.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she was trying to tell you you're making a mistake.
So it is worth noting, I don't know if the 10 turn count counts the first part or if it's just this part of the mission. But either way, I don't imagine it's going to be too difficult.
5 turns in the first part?
I think we did it in 4. Because it was turn 1, moved up and shot the turret, and then got counter shots on the like Zaku and the Dom.
Well, first turn was move up and shoot the
Turret. Then second turn was
move up, shoot the Dom, counter both
of them,
kill both of them, and move up.
For its third turn. Then Zaku's moved up from there. You got a counter shot on one of them. So and then fourth turn was kill them, move up, and the ship. Yeah, so it's 4 turns.
Okay, so let's spend a maximum of 6 turns in this, because realistically, gold mod is far more important than a character we're not.
Than Eric, yeah.
I don't know if we can, but these 2 other ships that showed up.
Also, I don't know how you develop an elaborate mission like Varuna's Tears and not run it by an astrophysicist to see whether it even works. That seems even dumber somehow.
I think it might just be this part that's 10 turns, because there's a 12-turn limit on the second part here. But either way, I imagine we can probably get it done in 6, frankly. Considering we've got the Neo Zeong and the Deep Striker.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can run through every unit. Sorry.
I think our hard limit is chance steps, frankly.
It's getting a good position in counter. What it boils down to.
Yeah.
Sort of team.
And yeah, honestly, we'll almost certainly wrap this mission and call it, seeing as, because of how much cutscene there has been, it's now 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Already, like, it's a long-ass mission.
It's all blocker.
The regular 7th Gundam.
They have him defeat Eric?
Yeah, they have to fight at least once, and then he has to beat Eric.
Soon Eric will spawn way at the top, so...
Probably. Yeah, because on the field right now, I think are just a bunch of generic grunts.
Like our current goal right now is to destroy
Ilos.
Like
Yeah.
Eric's not even on the battlefield yet. All the other members are.
Yeah, so presumably once we beat Ilos is when Eric will show up.
Get this over with.
As it turns out, you can't fly over that wall.
It's nonsense. This is space.
Nope, nope, you cannot fly over that Gundam high wall.
Excuse me, coming through.
I did take a look earlier just because I was amusing myself, and the Alice system on the Deep Striker does have a special ability that will never come into effect.
Well, it has reserves, which
Deals more damage the lower your HP is.
they have to be able to hit.
Yeah.
It's like it's already a hypermobile thing that gets extra evasion and accuracy because the Alice system. If something did actually hit us, 50% less damage from beam weapons.
Yep. Jim, get a kill.
Yay!
There we go.
I'm helping.
Turn it into something.
Got another gym probably. Back on the bus. Launch.
Deploy tactical Neo Zeon.
Coward. You only make my reserve stronger.
Slightly.
How did you think this was going to play out?
Well, I couldn't shoot.
Ah, destroy mode.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens when any of the unicorn units get to super high vigor. They go into destroy mode, which unlocks several attacks and also makes them stupid, like gross, ridiculous stat-wise.
The weaken boost. I think it has a specific thing for destroy mode, but it does get a boost for it. It's the reaction awaken boost they're part of it, also gets access to barrage attack.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I hear you need to die.
勝てると信じて打つしかない。
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
It really doesn't. It is a Gundam, so saying damn you Gundam is accurate.
Yeah. You're gonna lose one more.
I'm planning on it, but it's gonna happen. No one plans for my boot to go up their ass, but it still occurs. Bye, cowards.
Alright, now that all the name characters are off the map.
You're not wrong.
This entire operation was meaningless from the start. Man, what?
Yes, ghosts are very important.
That's a non-argument. And I don't think that gets solved by hurling rocks at the planet.
Won't know who would try.
This seems unkind.
What are you talking about? They picked this fight. They wanted a Gundam. I gave them a Gundam.
Just remember that if we want that particular unlock, we do need to have Hughes fight Eric at least twice.
I know. Like, Amro's just killing everything
Everything
around.
else, yeah.
You asked for this.
Kill all the other units, and then when Eric inevitably comes and tries to attack the unicorn, just put your hand on his head and just hold him in.
Okay, so now to get that thing up there.
Basically.
Matter of strategically wounding the right units.
Yep. That is the plan. Still kill.
Yeah, it's got the continuous effect, so it can get multi-hit.
Well, you still got 2 more things to win.
What do the attacks on the Kshatriya look like? Probably that's to do the Hyper Beam Javelin, actually, because it's slightly higher power, but doesn't have continuous.
Yeah, I think it'll still kill, but, you know. Yep.
Yeah, no, these things are just too weak for anything hit that Kshatriya does to not kill him.
The Gatling was fine until...
She got high vigor,
She got
yeah.
high vigor.
Well, there was Zaku's from the shoot at least.
Oh, even 50% more damage, you couldn't do it.
I mean, these aren't base Zaku's either. They are 2 FZs, which are much higher tiered Zaku's. And again, 7th Gundam isn't actually good unless it's in full armor or heavy arm full armor mode.
We need to destroy the guns or not. I don't know if it counts as units.
Hmm?
I don't know if we need to destroy the gun emplacements or not.
Probably.
Oh, it is actually a destroy all units mission.
Yeah, the first part was just eyeless, but the second part now is almost certainly destroy all units.
Oh yes, destroy all enemy units.
In fairness, it's the only way to actually get damage on the Deep Striker.
True. Oh, I didn't want to kill him.
That's fine.
Does it hurt?
We've got plenty of time for the to get Hughes over to Eric. Like, again, even if we are assuming that the first part counts in that 10-turn count for the gold mod, we still have like 4 turns after this.
Yes. The hit chance is so low that evade does nothing.
Yep. Yes, they have already bottomed out at 5% chance to hit.
Are you gonna go make my job easy for me? I think it's gonna make my job easy for me.
Yeah, I think he does actually head toward Hughes.
Yeah, so he's actually in range now.
No.
No.
Another turn, though. If he keeps moving towards Hughes and we get another turn, he will be there.
You have to go down the center.
Yep.
Something.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't want to
crater.
block alone, so...
It's a crater. And that's real here. All the units in there are already dead anyways.
True.
Kill Monster Amuro is just on a rampage inside that
Running low on
crater.
enemies.
Ah, the classic Xeon tactic of using up all of their energy by throwing wave after wave of your own men at their weapons.
Yeah, Beam Saber takes 14. I think he's fine.
Now remember, man, I want you to survive. Oh, well.
Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god.
And these other turret cannons, which literally can't do anything because they're within 9 of the Dino's range.
Oh, you probably have to destroy anyways, so...
Only allow him the option to
Charge at Hughes, yeah.
Yeah.
No guns for you.
You're trying to fire nuclear bazooka.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, you used it last turn.
Dream.
Even with the increased energy regeneration, you still don't get to fire the atomic bazooka 2 turns in a row. Oh, that one is out far enough out, yeah.
Because the closer one couldn't fire.
Alright. Now to start rumbling.
Yep. You have to fight at least once, and then Hughes has to defeat him.
タチアナ・デアが残したモビルスーツとこうして最後に立ち会うこととなるとは。
タチアナ、シェリー・アリスンのことか。彼女のことを知る者ならばなぜ戦いを続ける。彼女のシェリーの願いは戦いを終わらせることだった。シェリーの望みは平和への。
黙れ。タチアナをシェリーなどと二度と呼ぶな。貴様に何がわかる。タチアナの何が。
Either hit would have killed that from full.
Oh yeah. Success at this point.
I
think we've made several mistakes, or the same one over and over again at this point.
Challenge the Gundam. I'm checking which Gundam it was.
You can just straight up attack him at this point.
Yeah, we'll finish off the last gun first, though.
I mean, also especially considering, like, both masters are right there, so I can pop, like, strike assists and shit on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should level thing to level him,
not have enough energy to attack.
Oh, they have a ship.
Oh, he doesn't regenerate because they have a fucking ship.
Yeah, White Base does have an energy charge. Not quite close enough to move about halfway up. See what skills are on these guys. Yeah, just get the White Base up there.
Yeah, we got turns.
Extremely slowly, but
Oh no, please don't chase me. Start to see the giant command radius that he has. That is literally everything on the screen.
yeah. Look, Bright's a really fucking good commander. What do you want?
Might be in range.
Oh.
Kind of move the Deep Striker in to wall him off.
Yep. I get my cover as well.
Yeah, should be fine. There we go. I'm a protagonist.
Curses. We try Flash.
But what now? Gee, what a shock. Amuro got the top ace.
ファントムスイープ隊の任務は質量弾の射出を許すという形で幕を閉じた。マオリャン少佐の起点により行われたメガ粒子砲によるマスドライバー終端部へのピンポイント攻撃は着弾こそしたものの質量弾の射出を食い止めるには至らなかった。長い尾をたなびかせて地球へと飛翔する質量弾インビジブルナイツは脱出用のスペースランチからそれを見届けていた。それは彼らの存在意義が果たされた瞬間でもあった。だが多くの同胞たちを犠牲にして完遂した今作戦にどれほどの価値があったのか、今はただ地球を目指す彗星の軌跡にスペースノイドの自由を託すことしかできなかった。一方、拘束されたエリク・ブランケは軍事裁判にかけられた。旧ジオン公国軍の装備占有および大戦終結以降の度重なるテロ行為により極刑が宣告される。彼の判決は刑執行前に一部のジオン残党に漏洩していたというが、その真意は定かではない。ただ確かなことは、その後の歴史においてエリク・ブランケの名を見ることはなかった事実のみである。そして
シェリー、
ユーム隊長、
本当に無事だったんだな、シェリー。月からの祈祷中に聞かされ
That's
た
right.
時は
She
驚
didn't
いた。
die.
Yep.
There's just a flash bomb.
またこうして隊長に会えるなんて思っていませんでした。私は死亡認定された身ですから。
そうだったのか。
月のことは聞きました。これで良かったと思います。いえ、これこそが最良の結果だったんです。
そうか、そうだな。
隊長、ヒュー注意は。
ああ、あれから随分と元気になったよ。退院まではあと少しかかるそうだが、早く隊に復帰したいって騒いでる。
よかった、元気そうで。そろそろ時間ですね。
ああ。射出された質量弾は終端部の爆発の影響で軌道を少しだけ変化させ、オーガスタには落ちることなく地球を今まで周回し、重力に惹かれ砕けて、
そして本物の水天の涙になった。私たちのやってきたことは無駄ではなかったんです。この夜空を見上げた人々が何を思い何を願うのか、それが大事だったんですから。
Okay, that's slightly different. Still stupid,
戦
but
後
less
の夜
stupid.
空に降り注ぐ無数の流星、人の手によって放たれた作り物の流れ星。それは人類がまだ空に上がる前の時代の
I
よう
mean,
に
it still likely wouldn't have done much if they hadn't altered the course,
希望と
honestly.
なれただろうか。
No.
チリチリに
Also,
砕
like,
け
one
散
shot
っ
in
た
the
質
Gusto
量
would
弾
be
の破
like,
片
well,
は青い夜空をかける。
the Gusto,
The Guts base is damaged.
Yeah.
いつまでも輝き続けて
the civilian base at this point is not a military base
人々
anymore.
が願いを
Yeah.
託す。
Oh no, the meteors are carrying a space virus.
水
Quick,
天
to the
の
ark.
涙として時に宇宙世紀 0081。
I mean, considering the Federation has taken the loss of all of Australia to the Earth, I don't think they care about one civilian base.
Not all of Australia. It was like a quarter of it.
And there's a bunch of fighting on Australia.
Which quarter?
Northeast.
Oh. So all of Australia.
It's okay. We'll be going back there in literally the next scenario.
Yes.
Gundam Gamma. Still no fucking Novsky. It's gonna be the last
So
gold
it
mod
is.
we get.
It's just the way it goes. It's fine.
All right, but that being said, that's gonna do it for us for today. I want to thank you all for joining us again for another Super Robot Sundays here on Sound Goblin Gaming. Join us tomorrow as we return to the world of Elden Ring for more Pokemon playthrough. On Tuesday, we'll be back with more Phoenix Point Year 1. Saturday, we'll be going into the trial for Chapter 5 of Danganronpa V3. And we'll be right back here on next Sunday for 0083 Stardust Memory, the next actual anime of Gundam. And from here on out, I'm pretty sure it's actually pretty much anime the whole way through. Cause you got that, then Zeta, then Double Zeta, then CCA, then Unicorn, and then Hathaway's Flash, which at the time wasn't an anime that this was included here, but is now starting anime. There's one movie of the 3 that are supposed to be done so far. But yeah, so we are actually on the quick run through nothing but anime canon from here on out. So thank you for joining us, and hope to see you soon. I've been Bograt.
I've been Krampus.
I've been Shiv.
And I'm Vincent.
Have a good one, everyone.
Goodbye.